What happens when Dr. Phil suddenly stops the entire show? The room falls silent as if someone just grabbed the air and held it still. A mother sits in front of the world, but she doesn't look like someone who came to talk. She looks like someone who came to confess. Her fingers are twisted together in her lap, like she is trying to hold herself from falling apart. Her eyes are red from sleep. She never gets any more. She keeps looking over her shoulder as if expecting footsteps, as if expecting him. She speaks, and her voice is small, almost childlike. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. The audience stops shifting, stops breathing, because this is not a complaint. This is a cry. She says she locks her bedroom door at night. She says she sleeps with her phone in her hand. She says she has memorized which floorboards creak and which don't. Because sometimes the difference between life and death is the sound of footsteps in the hallway. She says her son is 17. 17, the age where a boy becomes a shape too large to control, too heavy to hold, too wounded to understand himself. She says he didn't used to be this way. She says he was soft once. He laughed easily. He hugged her all the time. He used to run into her arms after school, but anger grows quietly. It starts as a shadow behind the heart, and then it spreads slowly, like ink soaking into fabric. It waits for a trigger, a break, a crack in the world, and for him, that crack was his father leaving. One day he was there, the next day he was memory, a ghost, a silence in the kitchen, an empty chair at dinner. And the boy did not know how to grieve. Boys are not taught to cry. Boys are taught to hold anger, hold pain, hold fists, hold silence, and one day all that holding breaks. She says it started small. A slammed door, a thrown shoe, a broken toy, then walls cracked, plates shattered, and voices raised. Teachers said he was angry, but anger is only the flame, pain is the spark. She tried to help, she tried therapy. She tried grounding him, she tried hugging him, she tried giving him space, she tried everything, but you cannot put out a fire by whispering to it. At 14 he started smoking, weed first, then something stronger, something she didn't have a name for. He came home late, slept all day, eyes red, voice dull, like he was disappearing from the inside. At 15, he pushed her for the first time. She stumbled into the counter. He didn't say sorry. He didn't look guilty. He walked away. She lied and said she slipped. At 16 he got worse. He shoved her against a wall hard enough that she couldn't lift her arm for days. But she still cooked dinner, still washed his clothes, still kissed his forehead when he slept, because love is loyal even when it hurts. She didn't tell anyone, because mothers don't want the world to see the child they love as dangerous. But fear does not care about love. Fear grows anyway. She says she has stood in the kitchen with her back against the fridge, watching her son scream inches from her face, and she has thought, I might not make it out of this room. She says she prays every night, not for happiness, not for peace, but for survival. Dr. Phil listens. He does not interrupt. He does not comfort. He lets the silence breathe, because this is not a story that needs narration. It needs truth. He asks her, are you afraid your son could kill you? She closes her eyes and whispers, yes. The word hangs heavy, like something sacred and broken, and then the door opens and the boy walks in, not a monster, not a villain. Just a child wearing armor made of anger he never learned to put down. He walks with the looseness of someone who does not care, but his eyes are tight, shoulders tense, like he is holding the world inside his chest, and it is too heavy. He sits arms crossed, chin raised. He does not look at his mother. Dr. Phil asks him if he knows why he's here. He shrugs. She's dramatic. The mother's heart cracks again, not because of the words, but because she has heard them too many times behind closed doors. Dr. Phil asks him, did you hit your mother? He shrugs again. I mean, yeah, when she pushes me. What does pushing you mean? He doesn't answer. Because pushing doesn't mean physically pushing. It means asking him to clean his room, asking him to get off drugs, asking him to speak, asking him to feel, asking him to face the pain inside him that has no name. Dr. Phil says your mother fears you, That is not normal. The boy looks at his shoes. For the first time, he looks small. Dr. Phil asks him, "What are you angry about?" The boy breathes in, and something shakes in his chest. When he left, he says, he doesn't say my father. He says he. Like the word father is too heavy to hold. The mother looks at him with eyes full of oceans. She knew, she always knew, but she never knew how to give him something she didn't have. She says, "I tried to be enough." He whispers, "You weren't." The words land like knives, but pain is not precise. Pain lashes out at the closest target. Dr. Phil leans in. "Your anger is real, your pain is real, but hurting your mother will not heal you." The boy's jaw trembles. His eyes fill but don't fall, because boys do not cry. Boys break silently. The mother reaches for his hand. He does not move away, not acceptance, not forgiveness, but permission, a beginning. Dr. Phil says therapy. Rehab, boundaries, not love alone, love with structure, love with accountability, love that holds but does not enable. The boy nods, a small nod, but small nods change lives. But healing is not a switch, it is not a moment. It is a road that begins on stage and stretches into months and years outside the studio. And right now, that road is thin, delicate, and shaking. The boy sits there, and for the first time since he walked onto the stage, he is not trying to look strong. He is trying to breathe. His mother watches him, as if she is watching her little boy again. Not the 17-year-old teenager who rages like a storm, but the child who once cried because he lost his toy truck, the one who once slept with his head on her chest, the one who once believed she could fix anything. She wants to reach across the table and pull him back to that time. But time only moves forward. And healing must happen in the now. Dr. Phil asks him, "Do you think your mom deserves to feel safe in her own home?" The boy nods, a slow nod. Shame comes softly. It does not announce itself. It appears in the way the jaw loosens, in the way the shoulders drop, in the way the breath shakes. Dr. Phil says, "You have pain, you have trauma, you lost something important, but your mother lost something too. She lost the boy she used to know." The boy's lips tighten. His voice comes out cracked. "I don't want to be like this." Those words hang in the air, heavy, true. The mother's tears fall, not loud sobbing, just quiet drops that slide down her face like they have been waiting years to escape. She says softly, "Then come back to me." The boy covers his face with his hands, because sometimes the hardest thing in the world is being seen when you are broken. Dr. Phil watches them. He does not interrupt. He lets them sit in the truth. Then he speaks, calmly, firmly, without pity, without judgment. "This ends today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. If you keep going the way you are going, you will end up in jail or dead, or you will destroy the only person who has never stopped loving you. And if that happens, there is no coming back." The boy nods again, but this time the nod comes from deep inside. From the place beneath anger, from the wound he has been hiding. Dr. Phil says, "You are going to treatment." The boy doesn't argue. Not because he wants to go, but because he is tired, tired of fighting himself, tired of pretending he is okay, tired of carrying anger like armor. He whispers, "Okay." The mother exhales like she has been holding her breath for years. The sound is soft, shaky, human. The audience watches not like spectators, but like witnesses to something fragile and sacred. But the story does not end on the stage, because nothing real ends in one episode. Healing is not an ending. Healing is a beginning. After the show, they walk backstage together, not arm in arm, not fully reconciled, but walking side by side. The boy keeps his hood up. His mother keeps glancing at him, not afraid this time, just aware that the road ahead is long. They enter the car that will take him to the treatment center. The mother stands outside the open door. She wants to say something, something perfect, something meaningful. Something that captures the ache and the love and the hope tangled inside her. But there are no words big enough for that. So she says the only thing that matters, "I love you." The boy looks at her. His eyes are wet, but the tears don't fall. "Not yet," he says, "I know." He gets inside, the door closes. The engine starts. The car pulls away. The mother stands there long after it is gone, her arms wrapped around herself. The air feels too quiet. The world feels too big. She is alone, but she is also free. Free from fear. Free from nights spent listening for footsteps. Free from the silent terror that lived behind her ribs. And then, slowly, the guilt comes. Because love does not disappear when fear does. Love always stays. She wonders if she did the right thing, if sending him away is abandoning him, if he thinks she gave up. But the truth is, she didn't give up. She held on long enough to know she couldn't fix him alone. A few days pass. The house feels different, still, safe but empty. She doesn't sleep well. She keeps expecting him to yell from the hallway. She keeps expecting doors to slam. But silence has a sound too. And sometimes that sound is louder than chaos. At the treatment center, the boy wakes up early. They take his phone, they take his hoodie. They ask him questions. Questions he doesn't want to answer. Questions that hurt more than fists. How do you feel? What are you afraid of? What do you miss? What do you need? He sits through group therapy. He hears other boys talk. Boys who also broke things. Boys who also shouted. Boys who also hurt the people they loved. And he realizes he is not the only one. He is not a monster. He is a wound, and wounds can heal. Weeks pass. Slowly, painfully, he writes his mother a letter. It is short, just one sentence, "I'm trying." She reads it 100 times. She keeps it under her pillow. Months pass. They meet again at the center, in a room with soft lights and quiet chairs. The mother walks in first. She sits, her hands shake. The boy walks in. He is thinner. His hair is shorter. His eyes are softer. He sits across from her. The silence stretches, but this silence is not heavy. It is gentle. He speaks first. His voice is quiet. "I'm sorry." The mother breaks, but this time the breaking is relief. She leans forward. He leans forward. They hold each other, not tightly, not desperately, but steadily. Like two people choosing to stay. The world does not magically fix. There are still hard days. There are still nights when the boy wants to scream. There are still moments when the mother flinches without meaning to. But they work together, slowly, patiently, honestly, because healing is not about going back to who you were. Healing is becoming someone new. And one day, not soon, not quickly, but someday, the boy laughs again. A real laugh. The kind that comes from the heart. The mother hears it and smiles, and she realizes something important. She did not lose her son. She almost did. But almost is not forever. She got him back, and he got himself back too. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop pretending. Sometimes the bravest thing a mother can do is ask for help. And sometimes the quietest "I'm trying" is the loudest scream for healing. Dr. Phil said it in that moment on stage, the moment when everything stopped. Pain can turn you into someone you are not, but love can bring you back.